Welcome to another week of UMass Yak Back. We have some great topics for you today. We're going to be talking about the Grammys that occurred this past Monday, and the technical difficulties they had, and the stars that were there, and everything else that goes along with it. We'll also be discussing a man that got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat buffet. When you find out the reason, you might be a bit confused. And finally, we'll conclude our episode with a fun game, 100 tiny political topics. All right, so first we'll be talking about the Grammys. They were pretty interesting. Bruno Mars won big with the record of the year, Uptown Funk You Up. Allie, did you watch the Grammys this past Monday?
Oh, you bet I did. I watched some red carpet coverage and then the full award show from start to finish, so I was pretty hardcore this year. I watched the whole thing.
Who was your favorite look on the red carpet?
Oh, goodness. I'm trying to think. I think Demi Lovato. I can't remember what she wore, but I feel like I saw her and I was like... So I can't even specifically remember, but I feel like she's like very attractive and always looks good, and she always has cool hair. So I'm into her. I like her.
Well, Taylor Swift had an interesting look. She had kind of a bra on and then just a gown at the bottom.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
So I think that specific look was designed by Donatella, which is admirable in a sense because you're like, oh, there's some street cred that goes with that. And I thought it was cute overall, and I think the people that don't necessarily like it are being a bit critical because I think as a celebrity, you're going to so many events, so why not just like switch it up? Because you're always wearing gowns all the time, so why not just do something fun and a little different?
I understand that. And there's also a funny meme on Twitter where it was like when your stepmom takes you to prom, and then it was Selena Gomez in like her nice gown, and then the stepmom Taylor Swift in like this little getup, and it was really funny. But there was also some good looks. Adele looked awesome, but she had some technical difficulties during her performance.
Yeah. She had. I think what I heard was like there are like microphones. I don't know. I'm like pinching on the strings of the piano, and I think one like fell or something, and so it made this like weird clanging sound that was like pretty assaulting to the eardrums. And then I think they tried to like mute that sound, but then like muted her instead, which is like the 8th deadly sin. And so she was muted for a bit, so I'm sure that person is like no longer working. But she still sounded fabulous, I thought. Maybe like a little off key, but like who can blame her? She still sounded great.
She was on Ellen yesterday,
okay.
And she explained that it was the microphone that fell, and that also she said she's always pitchy because it's the emotion. It's the emotion.
Yeah, my roommate and I noticed that because we noticed she was a little off pitch, but then like when she was wrapping up the song, we're like, oh, she's like crying, so naturally she's gonna have some voice breaks and stuff like that. So it made sense.
Yeah, and she said she had tweeted out that because of that she treated herself to an In-N-Out burger, so it might have all been worth it. She is funny. She's a genuine.
She's like surprisingly funny. Whenever I've seen her on like any talk show, she's like cracking the jokes.
Yeah, there was on Ellen. She had her prank. Ellen was in Adele's ear, and she went to a Jamba Juice, and it's a really funny clip. You should definitely take a look at it.
People not recognize it was her?
No, they sent in an assistant first, being like, Adele's coming here, please treat her like a normal person. And then she was able to go in, and it was hilarious.
Oh my God, I have to watch that.
But anyways, a big surprise at the ending was Beyonce came out to award the record of the year, and a lot of people during it, I was watching seeing live tweets during the Grammys, and a lot of people were like, she's going to announce a album. And were you disappointed that she didn't announce an album? Were you expecting it at all, or?
I don't think I was like disappointed necessarily because she just did that like world tour drop at the Super Bowl, so I feel like such like huge announcements 2 in 1 week, like I mean Beyonce can do anything, but like you kind of want to spread out like the shock factor or else it's going to be like too much. So I was not like surprised or honestly that disappointed that she didn't say anything.
Now do you like Pitbull, Christine?
I do like Pitbull. I'm a fan.
I agree. A lot of people wouldn't admit to it, but I am one of the people who will. How did you feel about Pitbull's ending, Molly?
Oh my God, I think he looks like a mole rat. He bothers me so much. I just thought, like, what a way to close. Someone who's so C-list that it hurts. I just didn't like it.
Yeah, and then
garbage.
Yeah,
it was garbage.
And Robin Thicke was with him too, and I'm just like, wow, what a double threat.
They tried to bring out Sofia Vergara to spice it up a bit, and then she messed up her choreography. She was just shaking, and all she was doing was shaking. It was like insane.
Yeah, I felt uncomfortable.
I just feel like the Grammys, like there's so many different like music awards, but like the Grammys are like the top tier.
It's the
And
night.
to end with like such a garbage like ensemble performance was like
Yeah.
like Pitbull is whatever. I mean, very C-list as you were saying. Like I'll admit that I find his songs catchy, although I don't think he's talented. But like to end with him and Robin Thicke, who is such a controversial artist in like such a terrible way, I was like,
Yeah.
who made
Right.
this choice and how did they have a job? It didn't make sense to me.
Now, Taylor Swift also had a good night, and not only just for herself. Ed Sheeran took home a Grammy, and there's all these videos of her going crazy about his award. Do you guys buy into their friendship?
Okay, I wish I could do a more exaggerated eye roll, but I can't.
Yeah, no, I don't buy into it at all. The songs are so aggressive, not even passive aggressive.
Yeah, she just
like-
I just really like I hate to hate on people, especially like other girls, but Taylor Swift just sort of like rubs me the wrong way for a number of reasons. And I hate that like when he won Song of the Year, they kept showing her.
Kind of took away his
Like she did the
yeah.
classic, oh my god, I'm Taylor Swift and I'm surprised that me and my talented friends won an award. Like you knew we could see this coming.
Right.
And I feel like the surprise, like it's a little old now, that whole shtick. And so to keep showing her, I feel like took away from his award, which
Right.
was well
I
deserved.
feel
And
like I have a lot of admiration for her in a lot of ways, like in terms of feminism,
Definitely.
and her accomplishments and stuff. But I do feel like she's a little overexposed right now, and with her and Kanye West's relationship and how that's continuing to be like episodic, and I just am like tired of a lot of it. I'm just tired of the mainstream people that keep like coming up in the news and stuff lately.
Right, and so here she is taking Ed Sheeran's glory in a sense, and then she makes this whole speech about like people taking accolades,
credit for
right,
someone
for
else's
someone
work,
else's. So and it's
yeah.
kind of like
Which was justified. I think she had a great way to kind of like bark back at Kanye,
Right.
considering like I read an article about how they released some audio from his SNL performance, and he threatened to walk off midway through the week and was just saying like was sick of Taylor Swift, and he was just treating all the production people badly.
right. He was in a bad mood. I read about that as well.
Yeah.
Typical Kanye.
Right.
I could go on a whole
right.
separate tangent
Yeah.
about him. I
Yeah.
don't wanna
So
start.
Lady Gaga also did a tribute to David Bowie. I'm not very familiar with David Bowie. I don't know if any of you guys are, but do you guys think that she did him justice?
I think she did a good job. Again, I'm not like a huge Bowie fan. Like I just don't know a lot of his
Right.
stuff. But I just feel like the performance was really well done. Like at the beginning when they had that like animation on her face with like the spider, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And I just feel like of any person to like do that tribute, it should have been her. So I mean, based on what I know of David Bowie and the few songs, I feel like she did a nice job with it.
Molly, overall, 1 through 10, how do you think this Grammy was comparative to the others?
I would give this year a solid like 6 to 7. Like it did the job. It kind of fulfilled like my like needs for this like drama kind of stuff and all the music stuff. But especially with like Dave Grohl and like some of the other performances, the alternative stuff, I really enjoyed it. But not as good as previous years or dramatic as previous
Right,
years have been.
absolutely. My favorite was when Beyonce did that whole performance at the end. It was an awesome Grammys. But that's all the time we have for this topic today. Thank you guys very much for inputting your opinions. And stick with us. We'll be right back to talk about the Golden Corral fiasco. Welcome back to Yak Back. So, recently, a man went into Golden Corral, locally here in Springfield, and just sitting down having the all-you-can-eat buffet for about 5 to 7 hours. So after the 7th hour, the management finally asked him to get up and leave. Now the man is suing them for $2 million. Christine, how do you feel about this?
I think this is injustice, and I really hope this man does, in fact, get his $2 million. If you say all you can eat, you better, serve all they can eat.
Now, the man consumed 50 to 70 pounds of food. How do you feel about that data point?
Well, I do agree with Christine that he should sue, and that they give out really false advertisements saying all you can eat. Because you know what? If he wants to eat, he can eat as much as he wants. But I didn't hear about him suing for $2 million though. I think that's a bit much.
They offered him a stipend before he sued, and he didn't take it. He said he feels like he could get more for this injustice.
Well, I mean, all you can eat means that you don't have to leave and you can keep going back. I think they have the right to kick you out when the store's closing.
The store wasn't closing.
Oh.
But it was 7.5 hours, and I guess in fine print somewhere I read in the article that it's 5.5 hours max. So I guess they've had this problem before. But what would you, as a manager, what would you do if a man was there for breakfast till dinner?
I mean, if I were the manager at this restaurant, I would be probably very upset because I can only imagine that the franchise owner would become upset with me because obviously that's like tons of money down the drain. There's probably no profit for that day. However, I guess I would probably just have to let him sit until it closed. If there was a 5.5 hour stipulation, I would maybe bring it over to the man, be like, hi, here's the stipulation in writing. Like, would you please vacate within the next hour or something? Maybe give him a timestamp, give him warning or something, not just like push him out the door. And they said in the article that he felt that the manager was treating him with like very disrespectful like gazes, and like the man is like pretty large. So they were like disgusting faces at him, I guess.
Right, he said it was the worst restaurant experience he's ever had, and he doesn't go out much.
And yet he stayed there for 7.5 hours.
That's a good point. He didn't feel welcome there, but he stayed there. But why should he leave if, why he should make a stand? I don't know if I necessarily agree with him, but the thing that when I initially saw the title, I was like, okay, so maybe they went there for breakfast, ate breakfast, just stayed there on their laptop or something till they got hungry again, ate lunch, stayed there till dinner, which would be completely wrong. But then I read the 60 pounds of food aspect, and I was like, okay, so he was eating the whole time.
I guess all you can eats are a bet that the person won't. I mean, it's always a bet between the restaurant and the person. Is it like you pay the money, you bet you can eat your money's worth of food and more, and they bet that no, you'll get full and leave before you actually get your money's worth. And I guess he's just calling their bluff.
He just played the game right, You can't blame him for that.
Yeah.
But like, if he's eating that much, he's putting himself at risk. And so I think the manager is kind of helping him out to tell him to just like, just leave. And, you gotta take a break at least.
Right. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Golden Corral in Springfield, but I've driven past it a few times. And like when it first opened, there was lines around the block to get it. I mean, the food can't be that great. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Yeah. Did it mention at all if there was like customers waiting for his table, or if there was no like outside pressure besides the managers?
I'm not sure. That's another good point. Was it busy and that's why they wanted him to leave after 7 hours? But I don't think that was the case. I think it was more just he was eating too much. He was eating them out of their money.
Oh, if I was the waiter, I would be pretty pissed. I would not want to clean up after that man.
Right.
I worked in restaurants before, and I had to clean up like huge tables for a family of 8, and it's just like dishes on dishes, and I would hate to be in the waiter's shoes.
Mm-hmm. 70 pounds of food, that'd be insane to clean up. I mean,
especially like whoever's like working that table isn't getting any tips from the rest of the day.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Also, like, was this man fully eating his food? Because I know like all you can eat, and like I'm guilty of this myself. I like Chinese buffets. I'll like eat like some of it. I'll get one of everything and only try it. Like, was he like clearing his plates? Because if he was clearing his plates, then like at least it wasn't wasteful. If he was just being wasteful, like that's another reason. Like he wasn't eating it, just.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. That's another good point. I mean, there's a lot of unanswered questions to this, and I think $2 million is just a lot to ask
A lot
for,
of money.
just for getting kicked out of a restaurant. I mean, he had his good time there. I see him. Like, how longer did he plan to stay?
I mean, 7.5 hours worth of food is a lot of food. He got his money's worth.
A lot of food and a lot of time. I wonder if he was alone or if he had a partner.
Did he had a job? Why was
No,
he there the whole entire
doesn't,
day? He
actually.
doesn't?
He is on welfare, and that was one of the reasons he stayed the entire day.
Aww.
In the article was he like doesn't have very much money to spend. He doesn't go out often, so he figured like if he was gonna spend the money, he wanted to get the most for his money.
So he
That
kind
makes
of
sense.
YOLO'd it and just like spend all his time in the buffet.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've spent like 3 hours at Frank before.
That's
Similar.
Did you get kicked out?
No.
I wonder like how the manager even went about that. Hey, you gotta leave. What do they say? Why do I have to leave, sir? You've eaten too much. you've reached our limit. It's crazy, but I'm very interested to see how this will pan out. I am.
Yeah.
What I do think is like instead of $2 million, he could have just asked for a lifetime supply of all like coming in for free.
That might have
They-
exceeded.
they-
I don't know. I don't know
but, like-
about that. Well, this man, we'll see what happens if it goes to court, if it pursues the suit. And thank you guys very much for offering your opinions today. We'll be right back for 100, or just not 100, political tiny topics. All right, and welcome to our final topic we have today, political tiny topics. I have here in this hat a bunch of small phrases, questions, quotes from politicians, and relevant things like that. And I'm going to ask my panelists here what comes to mind when I say these words. All right, we're going to start. Bernsey, Donald Trump was nominated for Nobel Peace Prize.
No.
Wow.
All right.
That's all,
I
all that
refuse
nothing
to believe
needs to be
it.
said.
All right. Compare these candidates to fictional characters. Cruz.
Ted Mosby.
Rubio.
Non-existent.
Trump.
The devil.
Clinton.
Side character.
Sanders.
God.
All right. Molly, is Ben Carson sleeping? Why does he always look like he is?
Well, it's funny that you say that because in psychology, we watched this video about a surgeon who does, he cuts a brain in half, and it's from the 90s, and he's in it, and it was just the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, and he still looked like he was sleeping in that video, so I think he's been asleep since the 90s.
Well, maybe he has. All right, this goes for anyone. Trump's $1 million loan. What would you do?
Oh. Donate it to charity, that's for sure.
All right.
I'd go on
That'd be a
vacation.
small loan for me too. Probably start building up some capital, try to buy some real estate.
Absolutely.
So you'd go like investment with it. I mean, yeah, investment-wise, I'd probably do that, but I'd rather just go on vacation, probably.
Yeah, I feel that. All right. So, Molly, kill, boink, marry. Any of the three candidates.
All right. Gonna say, well, if I can boink a candidate's husband, Bill Clinton, marry Hillary Clinton, and I mean, obviously it would be, I think I would actually rather kill Cruz because he just has such a punchable face.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
You're just based on appearance?
Sharon, which candidate is most fashionable?
Oh, I definitely Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, Hillary, of course. All right, Bernsey. Is Michelle Obama greater than Hillary Clinton? In parentheses, Michelle for president, question mark?
I think so. I'm kind of sick of seeing her arms all the time, but she'd be a good president.
All right, why is Bernie Sanders so big on college campuses? Are you guys feeling the burn?
I personally am not, I understand his appeal, and I think that his platform and what he's doing is great for himself. I think he's very savvy in the sense where he's decided to run for president, to put all of his political ideas out there and to make people start talking about these things. But I just am a Hillary person myself, and I think that she faces a lot of criticism for her like Machiavellian type politics, but I just think college students are kind of wrapped up in him offering all these grand ideas and the idea of political revolution, but I don't think a lot of people look into kind of his financial backing and what he's deciding to do with money to fund that stuff.
Right. So, Sharon, have you ever been to a political rally?
Nope, never.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Bernsey, who has the best social media presence?
Bernie, definitely.
Yeah. Feel the burn?
Feel
I'm staying neutral.
All right. All right. Does your vote matter? That's a sad one.
I think so. I already voted absentee ballot, and I think with a Democratic nomination so close, I think every vote counts.
All right. Good point. Good point. Some people feel like their vote doesn't matter, but it really,
Yeah.
in the sense of things, it kind of does. All right. Who's hot? Who's not?
I think Hillary Clinton's pretty hot. I mean, she still looks pretty good for her age, I think.
And who's not?
Who's not? Definitely Donald Trump.
Why not?
Well, if you've seen him, he kind of looks like his hair has like a dead gerbil.
Did you guys see that painting that somebody did?
Oh, with the squirrel.
He was naked.
Oh no!
Yeah.
He had a very small something.
Member. All right. Molly, Hillary Clinton's awkward attempts to appeal to millennials.
I feel like it's uncomfortable. I can feel the uncomfortability, so it's very hard for me to outwardly support her, although I do, because I think that Bernie Sanders is so effortlessly memeable. Like, people just think he's cute, and I totally feel that. I think he's adorable. I think he's a great politician. But I think that it's one of those things where you should, like, she looks like she's trying too hard, so it's very uncomfortable for everyone involved.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that's funny that you said that because the next one is Bernie Sanders memes. Favorites?
I like the one where it's like, babe, my mom isn't home, and it's him, like, running through, like, a corridor, like.
I like the one where it's like he's like that mad scientist that no one believed, and then like the world ends, and because his hair's all messy.
Yeah.
He's like the wizard that he's like, wah, baba booey, and like no one believes he's like that crazy guy.
Yeah.
All right. If Jeb stands for John Ellis Bush, then does Jeb Bush mean John Ellis Bush?
But I think he can make his own religion, Jebadonger.
He could. That's a good one. And also, recently, Donald Trump bought out the rights to Jeb Bush's website. So when you click on the link to Jeb Bush, it goes right to Donald Trump's
I heard
website.
that.
Bernsey, what will you miss most about Obama, if anything?
The feeling of like security, like I feel like he's just like he has so much diplomacy. Whoever's going to be the next president, I don't know who it's going to be. I'm not going to feel quite as safe, I think.
I understand. I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been around for so long, 8 years. It's a long time.
Things have been pretty solid.
Right.
He has an appeal to him too. He just kind of is very soothing, and he has a very good like
Right.
way of public speaking and,
And
stuff.
like
so.
not like a lot of people oppose Obama a lot, but like nothing that bad has happened.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah,
hasn't been
I think
that
in the scheme
terrible.
of things, he'll go down as a pretty good president.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. This one's for all of you. Trump hair looks like blank.
I still think it's a dead gerbil.
I'm going to go toupee because I'm pretty sure it is.
All right.
I want to say like dead stuffed animal. Like if
Yeah.
you could reincarnate a stuffed animal and then kill it again, that's what it would be.
I'd say there's been like a painting or like a meme that I can't get out of my head. It's like a squirrel like inside his brain, and then the tail comes up and makes the hair.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it.
Yeah.
Now I can't
Now
get
it
the
all
image
makes
out of my
sense,
head.
Yeah.
All right, the last one. Martin O'Malley or John Kasich? Who's more neglected?
Definitely Martin O'Malley.
Yeah,
Like,
the poor
it, like,
guy.
He's a
It's like
sweetheart.
Bernie 50, Hillary 50, Martin O'Malley 0.0001%.
And I
It's
feel like he had some substance to him. He had some good
Yeah.
points, and he just kind of went under the radar completely.
It's surprising too because he's the traditional kind of nuclear family type of candidate where he's just a middle-aged white male, so you think he would appeal to more people because
Right.
that's kind of how history has been. I think he's adorable and a very like family, like neutral. He's very vanilla, but
Right.
so I think that's kind of why he didn't have much controversy with him.
I think we're like at a crossroads. You got like socialist, first female president, and he's like, I fixed
He's
like.
too neutral in a sense.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
people like don't want neutral anymore for
Right,
some
they
reason.
want the big, proactive. All right, well, that was our last question. This is definitely an interesting campaign, and we'll see how it plays out in this 2016 year. And thank you guys for being with us through it all. See us next week at UMass Yak Back.